Hey, before we get to the show itself, just a quick announcement that 91 Reasons is going to be at the Midsummer Scream Halloween Festival, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. This is put on by Creepy LA and Theme Park Adventure. They're good friends of the show. 2 days of frights, freaks, spooks, and scares. If you buy a ticket, and you should, it includes admission to dozens of presentations from creative professionals, celebrities, and influencers from in and around the horror, entertainment, and Halloween industry, along with a massive show floor, on-site haunts, and more. A full range of talks and presentations on local ghost lore, the craft of monster making, and the design of haunted attractions, immersive and interactive theater, and previews of upcoming Halloween events and attractions, all from the people who make it happen. They're going to have Not Scary Farm's going to be there. I'll be hosting that event. Imagineers, Queen Mary Dark Harbor, Universal Studios. There's an Oingo Boingo dance party. I mean, there's so much going on at the Midsummer Scream, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. Go to midsummerscream.org. Get your tickets. If they ask how you heard about it, say you heard it on this show, 91 Reasons. I will be there both days. 91 Reasons will have a table in the showroom. We'll be doing interviews on site, talking to fans, whatever you want. Stop by, tell a story. We'll record it and we'll put it on the show, and it'll be preserved forever on this crazy, insane show. So once again, 91 Reasons is proud to partner up and be a part of Midsummer Scream Halloween Festival, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. It's local, it's easy to get to, parking is cheap and right by the door. It's not like some of that, like Comic-Con. I mean, Comic-Con, forget about it. You're going to hear our stories about next month's Comic-Con and you're going to want to die. No, Midsummer Scream is going to be easy to get to, fun to go to. If you love Halloween as much as I love Halloween, you are going to want to be there. You can see Austin and talk to him about gourmet chicken strips. Josie will be there to talk about being the world's youngest scare actor in a Halloween event. I will be there interviewing and trying not to be in yours because I'm not photogenic. Rachel will be there talking from across the room. Luna will be there. The whole Tucker family will be there. All of 91 Reasons at the Midsummer Scream, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. Go to midsummerscream.org to get your tickets and tell them you heard it right here on 91 Reasons. And now you've sat through the commercial. Let's get to the show.
You're listening to 91 Reasons, a journey into the twisted landscape of pop culture. Keep your hands and arms inside the podcast at all times. And now, the voice, Jeff Tucker.
When I was a kid, I used to stay up late with my mother on Friday nights or holidays, and we would watch The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. So I grew up watching a lot of Johnny Carson. And it was, when you're a kid, you're always looking for those things that you can connect with your parents. Because, your parents seem like alien beings, man. They eat weird food, they watch weird shows, listen to weird music. So one of the things you do as a kid is you're trying to find those common grounds, and The Tonight Show was a good way to do it. And it didn't hurt that The Tonight Show was always showing movie clips. The latest actor would go, Johnny would go, "So you're in a big movie?" And he'd go, "Yeah, I brought a clip," and they'd show a clip. And I was, obsessed with the movies from an early age. So that was a golden way of connecting with actors who were in movies and TV shows. And the other thing that we used to watch a lot of was we would watch Taxi. I think Taxi is one of the greatest television shows ever done. It's an ensemble piece. Everybody gets a standout turn. And the collision here is Andy Kaufman. Now, Andy Kaufman played Ladka on Taxi, thank you very much. And he would appear on The Tonight Show. Sometimes he would appear as Foreign Man. Hello, Johnny, nice to see you. And sometimes he would appear as Andy Kaufman. Hello, Johnny, it's nice to see you. And he terrified me in the most wonderful ways because as a kid, I didn't get the joke. I couldn't tell what this guy was doing. So I always, in the back of my mind, there was a weird... you ever read Hannibal by Thomas Harris, the sequel to Silence of the Lambs? In it, he talks about the Mind Palace. Now, it's been really taken to public consciousness in the Sherlock show with Benedict Cumberbatch, where you build a mind palace and you have rooms set aside for different things, and you it's a way of compartmentalizing your memories. Now, I had a weird, oddball room for Andy Kaufman because of that split. Now, I was too young to get the joke and too young to understand counterculture. I was too busy playing with Star Wars figures to understand that there were people who were effectively putting a middle finger to everything anybody held dear as a way of entertaining in counterculture. Frank Zappa, George Carlin, Andy Kaufman. And I didn't get it. It was too young. By the time I became a teenager, the counterculture I clung to was Sam Kinison. Sam Kinison was the ultimate outsider guy, former Baptist preacher who screamed about the way women treated men. And to go see Kinison, I only saw him once, it was like stepping into church. But we're talking about Kaufman, and when Kaufman died of lung cancer in 1984, I didn't really give it a second thought because I didn't know who Kaufman was. I knew all the, I'd heard the stories, but I progressed in my life and found my own heroes. And it's not until you get older that you like, or if you're, you know people, or maybe you're an old soul who seeks out prior stuff anyways. My son Austin's like that. He hates new stuff. He goes right for the old stuff, right? So it took a while for me to circle back to Andy Kaufman and to see the brilliance of what he was doing. So obviously the big turning point for everybody in the Kaufman saga was Man on the Moon, the 1999 film starring Jim Carrey. Directed by Milos Forman, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, Amadeus, are you kidding me? Amadeus, one of the greatest movies ever made. Cuckoo's Nest, a fantastic movie. He directed Valmont. I mean, this is a world-class director. He had stepped into the biopic current day, not like Amadeus, obviously, but with The People versus Larry Flint, where he showed that you could take a character that you completely dismissed, Larry Flint, and make a compelling movie that caused you to rethink how you think about that guy. Larry Flint, he's a pornographer, filthy. Watch the movie. You get a totally different opinion of him. So I knew Jim Carrey had been cast as Andy Kaufman, and I was really excited because at that time I still am a pretty big Jim Carrey fan. I thought that Liar. I was late to the Jim Carrey bandwagon. I didn't get on the Ace Ventura. I don't have any. They're silly little movies for me. I don't care about Ace Ventura. I barely registered The Mask. Ace Ventura, When Nature Calls, no. Dumb and Dumber. I'm a Jim Carrey fan, but I don't like any of his most popular movies. That makes you a weirdo, Jeff. Thank you, Conscience. I appreciate that. But I liked him in Batman Forever, and I was building towards, there was a movie right in there that sort of changed everything. Liar, Liar, the brilliant, The Truman Show. The Truman Show was It's funny. I got lost in brilliance because I was really talking about Cable Guy. Cable Guy, 1996, big summer release. Jim Carrey got $20 million for it. It completely bombed at the box office. People were expecting the "alrighty then" shtick, and instead they got, "This is Chip Douglas, Cable Guy. My real name's Ernie, but people call me Chip." And people were tuned out because it was dark, dark, dark. Now around here, we were all gung-ho for it because it was filmed on Beach Boulevard. They go to medieval times right on Beach Boulevard, So I dug Cable Guy just because it was so strange, I learned the facts of life by watching the facts of life, What you've just done is offer me a bribe, which is illegal. You mean illegal? I loved the character of Chip Douglas because he was so evil, but, he's an evil psychopath who's obsessed with television and quotes endlessly TV quotes, It's fantastic. All right, sure. Great. It's a strange, strange movie. We'll get to reviewing it in time. So I was on the Carrey bandwagon, especially, again, after Truman Show. Because Truman Show, he showed that he had range. And I was like, oh, this guy got cast in a Milos Forman movie. Now, he beat out... The favorite to get the part was Edward Norton. He was all but cast as Andy Kaufman. Now, Jim Carrey had idolized Kaufman with good reason. Jim Carrey bought Andy Kaufman's bongos at an auction. So, Carrey made a tape where he became Kaufman, right? And walked around. So, the movie comes out, and it was you either loved it or hated it. And I loved Man on the Moon. It's weird. It's strange. It tries to let you in on the enigma that was Andy Kaufman, which is really tough because this is a guy who had layers of bizarro behavior. At the height of his fame as Lodka, he was still working at the deli. That's so crazy to me. But the offshoot of that was, the Tony Clifton parts. I didn't know who Tony Clifton was prior to Man on the Moon. When Andy sets up a deal, he'll only do Taxi if they will give 2 primetime specials to a lounge singer named Tony Clifton, who nobody has ever heard of. So when his agent, played by Danny DeVito, playing George Shapiro, goes to see Tony Clifton, he can't believe what he's looking at. Tony Clifton is a rude, boorish bully. And he's it's a cartoon character. And he comes out and he's like, this me, Tony Clifton. All right, listen, folks, I don't need this place. I play in all the big rooms in Las Vegas. I need this place like I need a shotgun blast to the face. When I come out here, I am in total silence. And I just, oh my God. And then there's, what's his name? The incomparable Paul Giamatti in the audience playing this guy, Gorski. Gorski? That Paul's name? You enjoying your pasta carbonara? Huh? Oh, yeah? And then he bullies him, he pours water on. And George Shapiro is completely turned off by this guy. And Tony Clifton, he goes backstage, long story short, long story endless, as my friend Ken would say. He goes backstage, and he finds out that Tony Clifton is actually Andy Kaufman in costume, and that Giamatti's in on the gag. And George says, I don't get this act. I don't understand what's happening. And Kaufman says, everybody loves the villain, George. So Kaufman is courting the audience to like him, at the same time to loathe him. They love Foreign Man. Lodka is beloved. Lodka could have been on lunchboxes if Kaufman had allowed it. So the anti to that, the complete opposite, is Tony Clifton. And I just was in awe because the movie ends with, on a sad note, Kaufman dies of cancer. The ultimate joke is played on him. A guy who never smoked, a guy who ate right and exercised and practiced meditation, dies of cancer in the worst way possible. He believes in spiritual healers, and at the last second, he sees the spiritual healer is playing a joke on him. The guy who fooled the world with Tony Clifton and Jerry Lawler and becoming the intergender wrestling champion is fooled in the end by a charlatan with pig's guts and a fake plastic thumb. It's a fantastic movie. I loved every beat of it. I've seen it 100 times. It's one of my favorites. I love his portrayal of Kaufman. And what really caught my eye was the idea of taking the audience on a journey where at the end they hate you. And it's so hard to do. It looks easy. Oh, I can go out there and be rude. I can go out there and have people not like me. To really do it is terrifying, because I read Bob Zamuta's book. Now, Bob Zamuta was Andy Kaufman's partner in crime, his writing partner, the chief guy that put all this stuff together. And there were times where the audience would go to see Clifton because they thought they were in on the joke. They thought, oh, we know that Clifton is now Kaufman. Kaufman is Clifton. So people would go see Tony Clifton thinking they were going to get a Kaufman show. And the joke was on them because they would flip the script and Zamuta would come out as Tony Clifton. Kaufman would come out as himself, and Clifton would run him off. And the audience would hate him even more. So they were constantly finding ways to simply screw with people. And it was mean. It was really mean. So part of me, because I'm ultimately a really nice guy, was entranced by this. Like, look at the reaction he gets from the audience. They want to kill him. This is the guy that went on SNL and did the Mighty Mouse theme and parlayed that. Now, I was going to say simple performance piece, but it was very layered and very calculated. But parlayed that into a career, which is so hard to do. And constantly reinventing himself. And he had enough money. He had what you'd call FU money. So when he's like, I can't screw with people. You know, I got to get paid. I can't afford to have people loathe me. Now, a lot of people dislike me because I got a big mouth. I've said that many times in the show. I get that. But when it comes to my work and my job, you can't walk in with people wanting to kill you. I mean, the cast of Taxi wanted to kill Andy Kaufman because of his antics as Kaufman and most assuredly as Tony Clifton. You know, when Tony Clifton was scheduled to appear as a guest on the show Taxi, he never showed up. It never made air. They never did an episode. They threw him off. The cast hates him, you know. I took a look at that script last night, and I did a little rewrite, you know. He goes, BS, my line. Oh, yeah. And, like, they're just completely want to kill this guy. And they know it's Kaufman. So Andy Kaufman was able to take the whole world and turn it into his private playground. And because he was so charming on Taxi, everybody just played along. When it was announced that he died, most people didn't even believe it. They thought, oh, Kaufman's playing a joke. Even his family, his own parents didn't believe that he was dying of cancer. They kept waiting for the punchline. And the thing with Kaufman was he never let you in on the punchline. And that takes, my friend, commitment. Because everybody's like, well, I'll play a mean joke, and then I'll tell my friends it's a joke, and they'll like me again. Kaufman didn't care about the end. He didn't care if you liked him. All he cared about was he got to be in on the joke. The Lawler thing, nobody thought the Lawler thing was fake until the movie. Like when Lawler and him had the wrestling match, and then the subsequent fight on Letterman where he threw coffee and screamed all those expletives, up until the confirmation in the Man on the Moon movie, people thought it was real. Like that takes commitment of the nth degree for everybody to hold on to that kind of a conspiracy. It's fantastic. It goes to show you how great a performer Kaufman was. So, the movie ends with Kaufman dead, his funeral, and then Tony Clifton shows up at the Comedy Store. performing. And you think, oh, it's Zamuda. Then they show Zamuda. So the movie is ambiguous about whether Kaufman faked his death or not. A lot of people assume he did. You know, there's a Seinfeld episode where they spend the whole episode trying to park a car. One guy goes front ways, one guy goes back ways, and they argued the whole episode. If you look in the background of that episode, you can see a guy who looks just like Tony Clifton walking around. So Kaufman, who idolized Elvis Presley, in the end pulled a Presley in. He made the world doubt that he had died in the same way that Elvis Presley did. You know, one of the great stories in Zamuda's book is that a young Andy Kaufman went on a road trip to Las Vegas and actually met Elvis at the Hilton before one of his shows. You know, because nobody was doing Elvis at the time Kaufman was doing Elvis. It was a revelation. If you've seen the movie, you've seen the act where, you know, and now is the time for the imitations. I will do the President Jimmy Carter. Hello, I am the President Jimmy Carter. And then he turns and all of a sudden he transforms into Elvis with the pure Elvis voice. So he idolized him and then ended up going out with the same doubts that Elvis went out with. Right? So fast forward to 2004. 2004 was the 20th anniversary of the death of Andy Kaufman. And there were rumors swirling around that he was going to come back. He was going to make a reappearance. And you know what? I wanted to believe. Like Mulder, I wanted to believe that Kaufman was alive. After that movie, and this is 5 years after the movie, I wanted to turn on the TV and have him on talk shows going, I pulled the ultimate joke. I faked my death for 20 years, and I'm back. It didn't quite work out that way. What did happen was that on the 20th anniversary, now I'm probably going to get some of the details wrong because I wasn't there, even though I desperately wanted to be. But Tony Clifton reemerged and did a show at the Comedy Store. Tony Clifton came out, I'm back from the dead. Now I'm doing a show. And after the show, anybody who hung out, they went on a field trip to where Kaufman lived in an apartment, and they had set up all of Kaufman's signature costumes. And people just sort of spent the night taking pictures with Clifton and reveling in the genius of what Kaufman had done. And I looked at pictures on the internet, and I was insanely jealous that I wasn't there, which is silly because I was 20 minutes from there. And I was in Long Beach at the time. I'm not sure why I didn't go. You know, chalk it up to when you die, you will regret the things you didn't do, not the things that you did. Those are words to live by, and I regret not going to that Kaufman rebirth. So what happened is Clifton came back. Now Clifton's on Facebook. Clifton does appearances. I still haven't seen the guy. I'd love to see Tony Clifton. Oh my God. I would love to be Tony Clifton. I would love to hang out with Bob Zamuda and be Tony Clifton. Like, I would put all the makeup on. I would go out there. I would do that show. All right, here. Everybody shut up. I mean, I would be great. You know, first I was afraid. I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. I mean, I would, oh my God. Tony Clifton, man. So I started to get really steeped in Tony Clifton lore and Andy Kaufman legend. And what I did was I was on a game show. I think I did a show about game shows, Balderdash. And the host was Elaine Boozler. And I knew from reading the books that she had lived with Kaufman. So in between shooting, I chatted her up about Kaufman. You lived with Andy Kaufman. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, he's my hero at this point right now, man. Oh my God. The stuff that he got away with. So she ended up, because she got mad because people were spreading rumors about Kaufman, the rumor that he was going to come back from the dead, blah, blah, blah. So she ended up faxing. People were still faxing. She faxed me all these articles that she had contributed to or written about Kaufman. So I have those somewhere, and I like that was a really cool thing. And then the other thing was Lynn Margulies, who dated Kaufman, and she's played in the movie by what's her name? Courtney Love. Lynn Margulies came out of seclusion and started selling Clifton items. So I bought from her a Clifton DVD signed by her. I mean, with like she hand wrote my address. And I was like, it's one of those things again where I'm always talking about like I'm bumping here and there with the things that I treasure, and it makes them real. So the Tony Clifton DVD was from the time of the movie where Jim Carrey and Zamuda were goofing on the press. None of this stuff made the air anywhere. Nobody wanted to really report on it, but like they played tricks on people. They made appearances. It was a lot of fun. Carrey would rub himself in Limburger cheese so that not only did he look like Clifton, but he smelled like Clifton. And I just got up close with it. At the time that all of the cancer stuff struck Kaufman, he was in the midst of trying to get the Tony Clifton movie made. Unfortunately, the atrocious film Heart Beeps derailed that. If you've ever seen Heart Beeps, quite possibly the longest 80 minutes you will ever sit through. And I'm a Kaufman fan. But the Tony Clifton movie was this weird meta movie about the rise of Tony Clifton, and Kaufman would play himself, and Kaufman was the bad guy of the movie. Very strange. The script is on the net if you want to read it, but it's totally bizarre. But because of Heart Beeps, Kaufman and Zamuda went overnight from having an office on the Universal lot to it was painted over, the parking spaces were taken, and they were told your services are no longer required. So 2004 was a big year with all of this stuff, and there was news reports, and Kaufman here, Kaufman there, and what came out of it for me was a desire to pay the ultimate homage to a guy like Kaufman, and that is to become my own version of Tony Clifton. So I pitched a Halloween haunt show, not Scary Farm, 2004. I pitched a show called Dead Eddie at the Tiki Lounge of Terror. Now, Dead Eddie would be a lounge singer, like Richard Cheese, Tony Clifton. He's dead, so we have the haunt aesthetic on the show, and he's going to present the worst haunt show in the history of mankind on purpose. This thing went through 30 rewrites, and along the way, it always had a plot, and the plot was you're watching Dead Eddie give the final show of his career. He's dead, but he's got to get somebody to like him so he can go to heaven, and in the end, he actually goes to hell. Like that was the byline of the show. It went through a lot of rewrites. The most notably was somebody said, the guy in the big theater is Ed Alonzo, so you really can't have Ed and Eddie. So you got to change the name. So I scoured my brain for a name, came up with Tommy Tomb. Turned out it was a Garbage Pail Kid card, which I didn't know until after the fact. And Dead Eddie became Tommy Tomb at the Tiki Lounge of Terror. So we had all those T's, that alliteration. And the show, it's Tommy Tomb at the Tiki Lounge of Terror, but the show is called A Complete Waste of Your Time. And we actually put that on the marquee, a complete waste of your time, so that when people complained, and boy, did they complain, we would point to the marquee and say, it says right there, it is a complete waste of your time. So I got everybody on board. We put together a show that cost almost nothing because everybody that was in the show was already working. They were all my friends who worked Scary Farm. We had a band. We had Adam Hankinson on drums. We had Rob On guitar, Rob Perez, you just heard him on the show. Larry McCoy, I think, was on bass. And my friend Trent played the manager of the Tiki Lounge named Rick Darris, which if you're a Kevin Smith fan, that's one of the characters from View Askew. And who was the stage manager was this guy. We called him a used car salesman, and it's funny, when he left Nazi, he actually became a used car salesman. His name was Chris Davila. So we have all these people in place, and I wrote the show to be incredibly cheap, using set pieces I already knew existed. And we sat down and we put together this Tommy Toombs show. And originally, like, I was doing the show as Clifton. Like, come on, how you doing? I'm Tommy Toombs, right to see you here, not Scary Farm, all right there. And I learned fairly quickly, like, that's hard to do, man. A character like that for a half-hour show is incredibly hard to do. So in the rehearsal process, we kept refining things. Just the way you do. That's what rehearsal is for. So the show kept morphing, and I went from thick prosthetic makeup to airbrush makeup, smaller and smaller, so that more of my face could come through on the stage. We had Trent in place. We had Chris backstage. We had the band. Now, the band were the guys doing the hanging. So they would do the hanging out in Calico Square, run over and do my show, and then run back and do the hanging. Like, this was asking a lot of people. But we were all such good friends. And the show for us was the ultimate good time. That even though we were sweating and working our butts off, we never felt like we were doing it for nothing. Like, we felt like we're doing something here. This is insane. So we put together the show, and I remember the first night that the show went up, people really hated it. Like, they couldn't believe what they were watching. It was so insanely bad. And not in a good way. Not bad in a good way. Just simply bad. Hey, here's a news flash, folks. I can't sing. I can't hold a note if there's money involved. And there was. So I can't. And I would come out and sing the worst renditions of these songs you've ever... Flat, off-key, off-lyric. I mean, you name it. Terrible. I do not know music. The opening song was Thriller, and I had to be cued by Adam on drums. He would nod at me to sing. Like, they would play the beat, and then he would nod, and I would go, Thriller, Thrill. I mean, it was, and then one night, he's like dazing, and he forgets, and I'm just standing there, and I said, everybody stop. I said, folks, this guy is supposed to cue me. He didn't cue me. We're starting. It just became like a comedy of fun errors. But the first night of the show, we left feeling pretty bad. The theater that we were in, the Boardwalk Ballroom, you can seat 400 or 500 people in there. And on a busy hot night, you can fill it because people are looking for anything to do to sit down. So we were filling it, and then people were angry because the show was legitimately bad. I came out, I sang, I showed some prop humor, really bad prop humor, and then we did another montage of Elvis songs and Foreigner, and all the elements were there for a good show, but they weren't quite in the right spot. Like, the finale of the show was me on a toilet on wheels singing Burning Love as Chris Davila wheeled me around like a wheelchair. It was very completely bizarre. So one of the head guys there, he comes backstage and he goes, you got to retool this thing, man. It ain't working. And I totally agreed. I said, you're right. It ain't working. We're going to have to do something and fix it. So if you listened to the writing episode where I took my book apart in a single day, I did the same thing with the Tommy Toombs show. I sat down. I didn't do it on cue cards, but I did it on paper. What elements do I have? what songs have we worked out? What do we have in the show? And I rearranged it, and I added a part where I bring a girl up from the audience, and I put the show back together, and when we put it up, the same guy that told me it wasn't working came back and he said, I have no idea how you did this, but it works now. It's all the same stuff. You just moved it around a bit, polished the edges, and now it works. Now here's the thing. People didn't walk out of this show. People stayed for the full half hour. Then they got up confused and walked out angry. Some of them. A lot of people got the joke. But there were quite a number of people who would go up to the ushers and go, this was the worst show I've ever seen. And they would just point to the marquee. It says on the marquee, a complete waste of your time. So let's roll a little bit of the Tommy Toom show here. Let's check it out here.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tiki Lounge, Orange County's newest Ultra Lounge. And now, please put your hands together for a performer so bad, even death itself couldn't keep him from the stage tonight. Direct from a 3-week engagement at the Dunes Hotel. Direct from a 3-week engagement at the Sands Hotel. And direct from his farewell performance at the Aladdin Hotel and Casino, Las Vegas. The act the Las Vegas Insider called pathetic, but worth a gander, like a car wreck on the 405. He's sexy. He's ready. Please welcome Tommy Toom. Oh yeah, let me hear ya. Woo! Oh come on, like you mean it, like you just saw your mom naked. That's what I want to hear! Welcome to the Tiki Lounge! I am Tommy Toom, and what a mediocre show have we got planned for you! Hold on, guys, wait. Before we begin, folks, a quick announcement. Nice. Sorry, I had a funnel cake before the show, and it's not sitting right. One more. Yeah, that one felt good. Yeah. Hey, welcome to the Tiki Lounge. How y'all doing? Yeah, I love that. Look at all the lovely ladies here. Look at you, darling. You're about to combust. The hell's wrong with you, darling? Do you have a Alka-Seltzer suppository? What's going on down there? You're hot. Let me say, you boys in the back, you can't see her, but you're really hot. You know that? You look like a Jaguar to me. You guys know what I mean. Expensive payments, high maintenance, and someone else is going to end up rear-ending it. Yeah. And speaking of rear-ending, let's have a hand for Rick Darris. There he is, the owner and the operator of the Tiki Lounge.
Thank you.
Yeah, Rick. He's a nice guy. He's a cheap guy. He did hire a corpse to perform, but it's because I work cheaper than Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Absolutely true.
Yeah, Screech works out on the boardwalk selling Dippin' Dots. So if you get some ice cream later, maybe you can say hi, and he can pass a note to Slater for you. Any words for the crowd, Rick?
Actually, I have something for you this show.
You have something for me?
Yeah, I managed to sneak away and get you a little something from
Look
the
at that, folks.
Tiki Room.
He got me a bird from Disneyland. This is from the real Tiki Room?
Check it out.
Get out of town. Hey, Tiki Bird, it's showtime. Yeah, thanks, Rick. Suck. Great.
And you killed
Hey, it reminds me of Disneyland, though. What do you call a theme park with no guests? California Adventure. There's some gasps of pain out there. I love that. California Adventure. It's like a hairdryer. It blows. But mostly, it's like a drug deal gone wrong. There are no lines. There we go. We found it. They're sick. I love it. Give it to them, boys. It's close to midnight, and Tommy Toom is lurking in the park. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. Oh yeah, because it's Thriller. It's a thriller night, and I ain't gonna save ya. Might give you a friggin' bite because it's Tommy The Tommy Toom Show. And Michael Jackson touched me in an inappropriate way. Yeah. He touched me, but I was wearing a Cub Scout uniform, so I was asking for it. It's true. I had spent the weekend eating brownies. Hey, give it up for my band, the Toom Tonics. Aren't they swell? Yeah. You will not find 3 men that you would rather spend time with in a Guatemalan prison than them. There they are. And sitting in with the band, there she is. Special guest tonight, Callista Flockhart. Wow.
Looking sexy
Looking
tonight.
real sexy. I want a boner. Yeah. I have a boner, so it works out. God, somebody get that bitch a sandwich. Good heavens. All right, boys, thanks for playing tonight. Rob, glad you're back with us. Did you get that rash cleaned up?
Yeah.
This is for you, boys. Share it. There you go.
Hey, Tommy!
Oh, there they are, folks. My 2 favorite idols, Clay and Ruben. What's up, douches?
Oh, nothing. We're just hanging around.
We were wondering if you had any snacks.
Snacks? What do you guys want snacks for? You got the munchies or something?
What do you want? We're stoned.
We'd have to be to sit through this crap.
Wow, you guys are really hostile.
Hey, you spend 9 hours with the nail up your keister and see if you aren't hostile too, jackass.
Who says I haven't spent 9 hours with a nail up my keister? I've been to Neverland Ranch. I see some of you have been there as well. I was saddle sore the whole weekend, and I never rode a horse. Yeah. Casey, put down that copy of Perfect 10 and give me some lights. Look at all the ladies here, fellas. Give it up for the ladies. Yeah. Yeah. If you give it up for the ladies, they might give it up for you. Here at the Tiki Lounge, we're all about the ladies. Because I may be dead and gone, but the good parts still work. And most of the time, little Tommy's up in the morning before I am. Wow. Yeah, let's take a look at some of the ladies down here. Oh, yeah. Got some young ones here. Got a homie clown. That's good, sir. How are you? All right. Some young ones up front. Wow, it's like the Mickey Mouse Club up here. He's got a protective arm. I love that. I can't have any fun here. I'll go straight to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect 200. There you are, darling. Look at you. I can tell you're a sure thing. With that Disney shirt, you've already been screwed. So it's a sure thing. What's your name, darling? Sarah. Yeah. Nobody doesn't like Sarah Lee. Hello. Let me ask you something. Have you got a mirror in your pocket? Because I can see myself in your pants, Sarah.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Feel free to use that. Did it hurt when you fell from heaven? Oh, shut up. I'm working. Let me tell you something, boys. If you want to get lucky with a lovely lady like Sarah, you got to know how to work her. You got to know how to charm her with music like this.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Let me show you my magic kingdom, Sarah. Take it easy, darling. I've got some words of love for you. This is how you get a girl like this. You look her right in the eye, and you say with all of your heart, change my pitch up, smack my bitch up. Change my pitch up, smack my bitch up. Yeah!
Yeah,
Keep it going, boys. Keep it going for Sarah. This is what you look at a girl like Sarah. You can only think of one thing to say to her, and this is it. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers may deny. When a girl walks in with an itty bitty waist and a round thing in your face, you get sprung. Sarah got back.
Yes, she does.
Yeah, she was talking to me. She whispered in my ear. You guys couldn't hear it. She said, Tommy, and then she said some words of love. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours, damn right. It's better than yours, I can teach you, but I'd have to charge. Sarah's milkshake!
Cha-cha-cha!
Yeah, give it up for Sarah! Yeah. Wow. Look at Sarah, Buena Park's newest mountain range. I love that. Let me tell you something, boys. If you cannot make the deal after something like that, give it up, because you're one of those queer eye for the queen eye guys, and it don't matter.
No,
It's true.
don't do gay humor, Tommy.
What's that, Rick?
I said don't do gay humor. You could offend somebody out here. In fact, you should apologize to any potentially gay members of the audience tonight.
What's a potentially gay member of the audience, Rick? Is that someone who shops at Marshall's? That's a nice coat, by the way. All right, you want me to apologize to any gay people out here?
Yes.
All right, I'm sorry you're gay. You walked into that one, but that's how it happens, folks. Or you backed into it, I don't know. We'll keep going, buddy boy.
I'm going to come up there and slap you like you like it.
At least he'd be in front of me for one time.
You should be used to it by now.
Was that your cup of hot water back there? He's looking to get teabagged. There he is. Oh, it's brisk, baby. Well, you all right?
Apologize, you jerk.
You seem on edge. Is there no midget under your podium tonight? He's got a midget he calls Keg, and he keeps trying to tap it. All right, you want me to apologize to any gay people out here? All right. I'm sorry if I offended any gay people in the audience. Are you happy?
Yes.
Are you gay?
Not on Friday.
It's because you can't eat meat on Fridays.
So as you can tell, Tommy Toombs, the lounge singer, the nonsense you heard at the beginning, we put up footage of all the hotels imploding. So I can't sing. It's obvious I can't sing. I'm terrible. It's embarrassing. But I wanted to be Clifton. So this was my chance to be Clifton. And I'll tell you, I entered the show through a coffin. And I would walk backstage and get into the coffin from behind it. And, I would get in there, a couple of minutes before the show started. And I just remember standing there like, unlike any show I've ever done. Because you go out to do a show, and what you want to do is you want to walk out confident, and you want the audience to love you. That's what a host is supposed to do. I'm there to keep the action moving. You like me. We got a good relationship, and we're going to keep it going and bring out somebody else and this and that. And that's what hosting is. Tommy Toom was totally different. Tommy Toom, I would sit there in the dark, and I'd go, okay, I'm in the dark here in this coffin. And when I go out, everyone is going to hate me. And that's a weird feeling. That is the opposite of showbiz, folks, and it is hard to do. I had such a newfound respect for what Kaufman and Zamuda did with the Tony Clifton character, doing my own watered-down, crazy, silly version of it, Halloween version of it, that, like, every night, I don't normally have to psych myself up for a show. I'm ready. Let's do a show. Tommy Toom was totally different. I'd put on this robe like a boxer, and I'd go get my makeup done, and then I'd come back, and I would like almost shadow box in my mind, like, ooh, the audience is going to hate me here and hate me here, but that's what it's supposed to do. If they hate me, I'm doing it right. So let's go out there and stir up some hate. I mean, that's hard to do, man. I'm not a guy who picks fights. I'm not a bully. And Tommy Toom had to be all of that. He had to be a smartass, bully, a-hole. So I went out there and I did it. And like, I would revel in like, I can't believe I'm going out there. I would hit on women in the just most disgusting ways. And this is, okay, we just watched this not too long ago to get the audio. And I remarked that the show that we put on would never exist in today's culture. Because, we're talking about, remember Nipplegate when Justin Timberlake revealed Janet Jackson's breast at the Super Bowl? Like, that was the beginning of the end for dirt. But there could have been a resurgence. We could have come back from that. The problem is, in 2004, 5 people in the audience have cell phones. And nobody has a Facebook page. 2 of them might have a MySpace page. But there's no Twitter. There's no Instagram. There's no Yelp. There's no outlet to tell people that you're offended. People just got offended, and then they left. And they took their offended crap home with them. If we tried to do the Tommy Toom show today, the minute I come out destroying those songs, people be on their phones videotaping it, putting it on YouTube and going, look at this jackass. Oh, and then the comments. Oh my God, what a loser. What a this, what a that. So this is why comedians don't go to colleges anymore, folks. You can't have jokes like this anymore. You can't court hate anymore. You can if you're doing it the right way, and there are comedians that still push through and do it. Some would say Trump is doing it, right? But I look at the Tommy Toombs show as a snapshot in time, right before the beginning of social media. Because I think I had a MySpace page at that time, but you didn't. There was no feed. You could send a bulletin, but nobody read those. You had to. MySpace was about visiting people's pages. Oh, I'm going to visit my friend's page, leave a message. Facebook changed all that by putting that thing down the center. Remember how alien that was at the beginning? What the hell? It's just a constant stream of information. But Zuckerberg realized that this is how people connect. And originally, Facebook was about connecting. Now it's about, here's what upsets me. Here's a video of how milk is harvested. Here's a video where the presidential nominee that I don't like is doing something stupid. And Facebook has become the bastion of everything that upsets me, I'm going to spew at the world. And maybe I can wallow in misery with somebody else. We are united not in the things that we love. We are united in the things that we hate. And damn, that makes me sick. Because we're losing the comedy. We're not allowed to be funny anymore. Tommy Toombs would never fly in today's society, ever. We'd get enough complaints that Knott's would shut it down. Think about that. We're supposed to be progressing. And I didn't mean for this to devolve into a diatribe, but we're supposed to be progressing, folks. We're supposed to be getting thicker skin and able to take the joke. There's no Kinnison today. He'd be thrown out. He's spewing hate. There's no Dice today. We have Louis C.K. And Louis C.K. is a funny dude, but he does preach a lot. The last angry comic was Dennis Leary. How long ago was that? So it's weird to think like comedy has changed. I mean, and this is all about comedy. You know, I'm just showing you my homage to Kaufman. You know, the heroes of comedy: Kaufman, Carlin, Kinnison, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, Robert Klein, Steve Martin, Rodney Dangerfield, Andrew Dice Clay, Dennis Leary, Chris Rock. All these guys, you know, they moved on to their careers. They found other ways to entertain people. Kaufman was the only one who never, I mean, other than heart beeps, never succumbed to doing it for a paycheck. Heart beeps was a paycheck. There's no doubt in my mind. But hey, I don't begrudge him. I'd do heart beeps. Hey, Jeff, want to do a remake of Heart Beeps? Sign me up. I'm in. So, imagine an audience. I mean, it's so weird that you can't think of it today. But imagine an audience where everybody in the audience is paying attention to the show. Nobody is on a cell phone. In 2004, cell phones only call people. And it's rude to be on it. So nobody's on a cell phone. Everybody's watching, and everybody's getting angrier and angrier at the buffoon murdering their songs, telling awful jokes, and berating people, and making some of the most idiotic statements ever towards Rick, towards the band. And when they get it, and then when the show ends, they just get up and leave. Maybe they talk to the usher on the way out. But they don't get on Yelp and complain about the awful man in the Boardwalk Ballroom. He should be shut down and killed. So it's weird. I mean, that's so strange and alien for me to think of. And I'm so happy that we did it when we did. And that I was able to have this amazing memory with people that were, I mean, we were the closest of friends doing this show. Me, Trent, Rob, Adam, Larry, Davila. I mean, we were like fighting a war together. You know, the war was comedy. We were butchering comedy and living to tell the tale. Trent set up Grand Theft Auto in the back room. We played Grand Theft Auto between shows. I got a horrible case of shin splints, and I didn't care. And poor Tim Clegg, a guy I work with, he was my understudy. I said, Tim, if something catastrophic happens to me, you better watch the show because you're going in. And when I had those shin splints, I said, Tim, you better get ready. And Tim said, I'm not doing it. I cannot go up there and have people hate me the way you do. I have no idea how you're doing this. And you know what, folks? I don't know either. Like, if the time came, the opportunity came to do Tommy Tune again, it would take like some soul searching to take that kind of bombardment. Not that we'd ever get to do it, you know. And the ultimate compliment came as the show progressed, and we got better and better at what we did. People got the joke, you know. We would give out CDs of the show to the audience. Now they were AOL startup discs with labels on them. So if they tried to play them in their computer, it would automatically install AOL. We used to get them free at the grocery store. Remember those AOL discs? We slapped a Tommy Tune sticker and gave them out. One night there was a private party in the Boardwalk Ballroom. A big media group, big sponsor. They bought out the theater. They were going to have a buffet dinner in there. So I thought, we're going to get the night off. This is great. I hadn't had a night off from Haunt in years. They came to me and they said, no, we want you to do the show. I said, these people don't want a show. They want to eat dinner. And if they did want a show, it would not be this show. And he said, no, you'll be fine. Just everybody come in. You're here anyways. Just do the show. So I got into makeup. I got in that coffin. And I knew we were in trouble. Like, corporate audiences, they want good magicians, good singers, jugglers. They don't want Tommy Tune. So I knew in the audience, this is 2004. This is the time when Hugh Hefner was going around town with the 12 blondes. Remember that time? He was on every news program. They were in the audience. Hugh Hefner and 12 girlfriends, each one more beautiful than the next. And I said, if I go out there, this guy, they're not going to like the show. He has the power to make sure I never get laid again. Hugh Hefner has that kind of power. Oh, just go, you'll be fine. So we go out, I do the opening song, and I said, let's go down and talk to the audience for a minute. I walked down the steps. I had just murdered Thriller. And I went up to the first guy and I said, hey, how you doing there? Hey, how's it going? And he looks at me and he goes, get the F away from me. And he wasn't kidding. So I looked at the band and I said, these guys don't want us here. Play us off. And we did the closing song. We were out there for about 4 minutes. And I went back and I said, I'm not going out there again. That guy was very angry, and this is the tip of the iceberg. If I go out there, I'm only going to make it worse. And then finally they agreed, so I didn't have to go out there with the hate. Because, those blondes, they wanted to kill me. That's how bad I was. Mission accomplished. That's what we wanted, right? But not the corporate people. No. They want their prime rib. They want to be left alone. They don't want to have the guy in the studded jacket. This is where the diamond jacket came from, folks. If people, you know me and you know the work I do for Knott's, I am known for this crazy diamond jacket, and I wore that. That's the Tommy Tune outfit, the diamond jacket. So let's cap off and finish the Tommy Tune show here, and we'll do some wrap up afterwards.
Looking for a ballpark. Anybody plump when you cook them? Where is he?
Jeez. Where's the love, man?
Hopefully not in your pants. I don't want no part of it. Take it easy, Rick. I know what you're going to say. Rick is right, ladies and gentlemen. He's an idiot, but he's right. Even a broken watch is right twice a day. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter if you're going home with a girl or a guy or Rick. It's about loving the one you're with. Right, boys? Right. Let's sing about love. Do you really want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Do you really want want to hurt me? Do you really want to make me cry? Ow, the tip is, it's not lit. And after all that we've been through, Sarah, I will make it up to you. I promise to. And after all that's been said and done, well, you're just the part of me I can't let go. And when you've got that special someone deep in the darkest night, look them right in the eye and with all of your heart say, I wanna know what love is. I want you to show me. I wanna feel what love is. I wanna know you can show me. Big finish for Rick. And will always love you. Not you, Rick. I will always love you. Yeah. I will always love you. I will always love you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Rick's not gay. He just needed a ride home. Give it up for love. Oh yeah. Yeah. And if you do it right, boys, this is the position the night ends with. Yeah. All right. Take it easy. Don't stare at my butt, Rick. It's my favorite part of the show, folks, where I go down in the crowd and I find my queen, because she's here somewhere. Who's going to come up on stage and be Tommy's queen for the show? Who is it? They're pointing to some tramp over here. Who is it? Where is it? Who is it? Oh, yeah, beatnik chick. Let's go, baby. Come on. You're on,
Come
baby.
on down.
Oh, yeah, here she comes in all of her beatnik glory. Oh, put the beanie back on. It was great. Come on, girlfriend. Let's go. There we go. Here she comes. Oh, yeah.
Oh, pretty woman.
Yeah, look at you. What's that, sir? Something you want to shout out at random? What is it? Did he leave? Was his short bus double parked? What happened? Look at you. Did you rob a bank earlier? What happened? What are you doing? Yeah, all right. You look like one of those homies you get out of a machine. Did you do a little gang sign or what? What is that? Is that shoe size, IQ? What is that? Take it easy. What's your name, darling? Heidi. Well, Heidi, are you all right? You're totally stoned, aren't you? Oh, yeah, I love it. Look at you. There are enough clouds in your eyes to do a weather report. Where are you from, Heidi? I'm sorry? I heard you. I'm just sorry. Riverside's a lovely town. Yeah, Heidi, what do you do in Riverside? What are you dealing? I mean, what do you do? When you're not working, you're dealing. Well, what do you do when you're working? You work for UPS. There we go.
All right.
Yeah, our packages are safe.
My package is safe.
Would you like to see our packages? We want proper ground handling. Ooh. All right, Heidi, take it easy, darling. No, get back. Where are you going? We're just getting started. No, you did? I didn't hear a thing. I'm used to that. All right, Heidi, right here. You want to leave? You don't want to finish what we're doing here? Oh, just stand there, dummy. Just stand there. All right, Heidi. You're my queen for the show. What I'd like to do is show you some of my fine products. Are you all right? Oh, you chilling? All right. Are you gelling? All right. And you're going to tell me whether you like them or not by giving me a queenly yay or a queenly nay. Try it out. Yay, nay. Very nice. You're a quick learner. That's why UPS hired you. Okay. And Heidi, because you're a queen, we have a special throne for you to sit on. Bring out Heidi's throne. Here it is.
Please welcome Heidi's throne.
I know it all too well.
Wait. Take it easy. I know that in Riverside, these are like in the front yard, but here is an indoorsy kind of thing. I know what the hesitancy is. Hold on. I've got it right here. There we go. Pull up and then down. There you are. Or did you need me to double bag it? Sometimes you have to double bag it, right, fellas?
That's right.
If you meet her off the internet, double bag it. There you are.
Do you want to sit on this?
Well, that's what the bowl's for, darling. Have a seat. There you go.
Howdy ho! Wow!
You like that?
That was like Mount St. Helens ass. Wow. What was that? Taco Bell. Very nice. How do you make everybody run for the border when you do that? Listen, girlfriend, a word of advice. It's not a real toilet, so don't drop a deuce in there, okay? If you poop, I'm gonna be pissed, okay? Because I gotta clean it up and no. All right, because you're a queen, Heidi, here's a special scepter for you to wield. There you go. And I have a little crown to put on your beanie head. Here we go. There. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at her. Doesn't she look great? Yeah. What the hell was that? I like that. We could do that later. You're wild. I love that. You look all like, I'm serious and I'm not going to do anything. And all of a sudden it's like, wow. You're like Clark Kent and Super Slut. I love that. It's like, do it again. Yeah, wow. Wow, all right, Heidi. Take a look at some of this crap. This box contains the most evil force known to man.
Yo, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really.
You got a clinger there.
Wow.
Not a Spice Girls fan, I take it. Come on, it's the Spice
Yo, I'll
Girls.
tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. So tell me what to...
Old Spice, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Very nice. All right, Heidi, take a look at this. This is a Star Trek toilet seat cover. Yes, for dropping the captain's log. But watch out for Klingons. Oh. Yeah, they're out to get Uranus. So's the band. Are you all right? You're about 2 seconds behind the rest of us. I love that. Are you all right? You're about 2 seconds behind the rest of us. Take it easy, Heidi. How about this? This is nice. This is a chicken with drumsticks. How about that? Yay or nay, dummy? Give it to me. Yeah, she gave a yay. Most women love a big cock. Big cock! Big cock! There it is. And you're no exception. It's probably because you could see its nuggets right there.
Succulent. Succulent.
And they taste really good when they're fresh. Something I learned in Riverside. All right. All right. Oh, I hear this is nice. This is a Mary-Kate Olsen doll. It's very sad, isn't it? This doll is different than the one you'd find in Target. This one's made of candy. It's edible. Why would you eat an Olsen twin? Because they're over 18. Oh, this is nice. How about this? You know what this is, right? She goes, yeah. This is a Fong. It's all natural. You'll see what I mean. Get it while it's fresh. Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Wow. I could totally work for UPS now. We call that the Heidi. All right, oh, this is nice. How about this? This is for chicken guys who want to look good on roller coasters. Is the ride over yet, Heidi? No, with you it's just beginning, I can tell. Yeah. All right. All right, Heidi, I know you wouldn't know it to look at me, but I used to be in a gang.
No.
It's true. You
Just
want to
say
meet one of
no.
my peeps from the gang? He can back me up. Here's one of my peeps. Here he is from the gang. Yeah. We call him Whispers. How about that? We're with the 3rd Street Idiots.
1, 2, 3,
Yeah, we're gonna do a drive-by later on those hollow bunny bitches. Throw some Cadbury eggs at them. Oh, he killed Whispers. Sorry, homie. All right. This is nice. I forgot this one. This is the Olsen twins. The Olsen twins read the Stephen King classic Thinner. But just Ashley's on the cover because Mary Kate, she's on the side. Oh, that's messed up. Oh. How about this? This is a Britney Spears marriage certificate. There we go. There's the love. We heard she's pregnant, so we got one for her baby too. Isn't that great? Yay, let's go whoring around. Yay. It's her prerogative. How about this? All the kids are wearing this crazy jewelry, right? It's got Bing Crosby on it. It's Bing Bling. If you were 60, that would be hysterical to you. You'd break a hip laughing at that. How about this one? Contraceptive SpongeBob. He's not SquarePants, he wants to get in your pants. Just like the band. Okay. What else have I got? Oh, this is nice. This is Rubik's Cube. You know what the problem with the Rubik's Cube is? There's no incentive to finish. But if they put a naked chick on the front, I would finish that thing in a heartbeat. One more square and I'm a 2-tissue man. Take it easy. You're totally freaking me out. How about this? This is a marital aid. This is so you and I can play arcade in the bedroom. Want to touch the joystick? I call it foreplay station. With the multi-port, up to 6 can play. Yeah. No? Heidi, I wish whatever you were on, you'd share. I just would like to say that. All right, Heidi. This is the last item I'm going to show you.
Thank
Shut
you.
up. All right. The good people at Target, they're very charitable. They donated 10,000 of these t-shirts to the people of Iraq. Isn't that nice? Yeah. Very charitable. Your brother works at Target? He must know all about this, right? It's great. You gotta love Iraq. There's a Target on every corner. Yeah! Give it up for Heidi. Isn't she great? Oh, yes, Heidi. Thank you for helping us out. Let me have that back. Let me have that. Here's a little something for helping out. There you are. Oh, I get a hug, too. Oh, she grabbed my ass. Hey, thank you, Heidi. Hope you had a great time. Oh, she liked corn. Nice. Very nice, Heidi. There she goes. Back to the hood. Yeah. Give it up for Heidi. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I made her famous. She might get laid tonight. Back in Riverside, anything could happen. Well,
That's right.
here at the Tiki Lounge, like I've said before, we're all about the ladies. But we haven't forgotten the boys, have we, Rick? You've been thinking about them the whole show, haven't you? You all right?
I'll meet you in a dressing room,
Oh, shut it.
pal.
Is it going to be your motto again? Rick's motto, keep your eye on the balls. Rick's easy, just so you know. He rolled over faster than the Cardinals. Hey. Oh, well, we want to thank you all for coming. Thank you to Heidi and all my lovely friends. She spent so much time on the bowl. Let's do a song by a guy who died on the bowl. Big Finish. Here we go. Lord Almighty, I feel my temperature rising. Come on, clap with me. Higher and higher, it's burning through to my soul. Oh yeah. Because your kisses lift me higher, like the sweet song of a choir. And you light my morning sky, burning love. Just a hunk of burning love. 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 Give it up for my band of Teutonics. There they are. Oh, yeah. Thank you to Rick Darris. We'll see you in the end, Rick. Thank you to Heidi. If you love the show, I'm Tommy Toom. If you hated it, I am Ryan Seacrest. Out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how about one more great big round of applause for a guy who has no idea what comes next? Tommy Toom!
Yeah, thank you. Thank you all. Special thanks to my mom for coming out. Enjoy the rest of your evening at Not Scary Farm, everybody.
So there's the Tommy Toom at the Tiki Lounge of Terror, a complete waste of your time. So what happens is you've heard the show now. The visuals. I'll put some pictures up on Facebook. I don't know if I have a digital copy of the show to put anywhere so you can see it. I will try, but we started to gain like with any theme park show, we started to gain a little bit of groupies, people who understood and got the joke. The most important was the general manager of the park, Jack Falfus. He stopped me in the midway one day. He goes, Tucker, I want to talk to you about your show. I thought, oh God, he's going to shut it down. We're so dirty. We're like an hard R rating at an event that's supposed to be PG-13. And he goes, at the end? And I said, yeah. Where you tell them it's the last song? I said, yeah. Don't do that. What? Don't tell them it's the last song, because that's when they try to leave. Just don't let them know it's about to end, and you'll be fine. I said, okay. Well, thank you. I found out later there was a dinner at his house where his wife went on and on about how great the show was and how nobody really got the joke. And I was like, oh, well, somebody got it. And the consensus was, from a lot of people, and people I really trusted, if the Tommy Toom show had been presented in 2004 at a small little theater up in Hollywood, it would have been a smash, because everybody would have got the joke. You go to Halloween Haunt, Not Scary Farm, you got people who they've never even seen a live show. They watch TV. They watch movies. Live show? What is this? I thought this was a maze. No, it's Tommy Toom show. Well, let's stay in there what the hell am I looking at? So, your goal is to entertain them for 30 minutes. Our goal was different. Our goal was to entertain them by upsetting them. So we had all these layers we were trying to put on the show, all this meta stuff that went over everybody's heads but the smartest people in the room. So I get all that. And the fact that people hated the show means we were a success. And I kept saying, it's one of those things you ever been in the middle of something terrible, just the worst, and you look at somebody and you go, in a year we're going to laugh about this, and your friend's that's never going to happen, and then a year later you're laughing about it. Remember that time you wrecked your car and the only people that stopped to help were clowns? Oh my God, yes. So as the years went by, there was never an idea to bring the Tommy Toom show back after its first year. I wrote a couple of shows just in case. I wrote a sequel called The Toom Night Show, where Tommy has a talk show. And the gimmick was the guest on the show was Princess Leia, who's now a stripper. So we were going to build a big lightsaber stripper pole, light up green, and she was going to dance around it. Very high concept, very silly. Never made it past draft 1. But year goes by, 2 years go by. I actually the year after, I hit the streets one night as Tommy Toom. I put the jacket on. I had him do the makeup. I took some pictures with people. And Toom just sort of faded away as one of those weird haunt shows. Rick West reviewed it. He got the joke. He loved it. He was shocked at what we got away with in there, which I was too. And then as the years go by, people start to go, remember that weird show in the ballroom? What was that? Oh, yeah. Did you see that? Yeah, that was weird. And then, I always call it the sepia-toned look at yesterday. Yesterday always looks great, and that's, nostalgia goggles. But I never wanted to push Toom on people. I don't invite people over and put the Tomb DVD on. But what happened was I started doing these ensemble pieces at Knott's with multiple actors, 15 actors at a time. And everybody sits in the downtime. You tell war stories, shows you did here, and I would tell people about the Tommy Toombs show, and they would look at me like I was crazy. Like, Knott's Berry Farm really did a show like that? Show a deliberately bad show? Yeah, we totally did. Everybody pitched in, and we were greater than the sum of our parts. So I brought the DVD in one day to work on a break, and I put it on, and everybody just lost their minds. First off, I'm the boss now. I'm the supervisor, so it's weird to see me in a performing role, even though I tell I'm a performer. They're like, "Is that really you?" And I'm writhing on the ground, and I'm murdering these songs. And for like a month, every time I went backstage on breaks, they were watching this show. So Tommy Toombs sort of floated in and out of retirement for this and that, just, for nostalgia's sake. I asked permission at work if I could do this episode, so thank you to the people at work for allowing me to talk about the Tommy Toombs show on the show. It was quite literally the most fun I've ever had at work. Everybody was pitching in and giving it 1,000% to be bad. From the people who did the set, the music, the props, obviously the band, Adam, Larry, and Rob. Rob showed up one night as Jared from Subway, and he had a sandwich because we had a skeleton on the stage. He gave the skeleton a sandwich. Davila ended up one time getting beat up backstage. It was shenanigans. You can imagine shenanigans galore, right? But that's what makes it great. The shin splints. I got sick with the flu a couple of nights. I did a terrible, terrible joke about Christopher Reeve. And then on one of the nights, I said, you know what? I'm not comfortable doing that joke. I think that joke is over the line. And the next night, we found out he had passed away. And I was so bizarre, that I had, it wasn't a premonition. It was respect. And I was very glad that we didn't have a show where we made fun of Christopher Reeve when the poor guy had passed away. The guy was a legend. So every moment of the Tommy Toombs show was gold. We played games, video games. We goofed off on stage. We mixed it up. We brought women on stage and embarrassed the crap out of them. And when I look back, how, if you give it colors, you look back at some memories and they're stark black and white, or they're vivid color. The day I got married, it's in vivid color. The Tommy Toombs show, I look back, it's shining in gold. It was fun. How often can you say, I had just raw amounts of fun? That's so rare, right? And it went on we did it 4 days, 5 days a week, 3-4 shows a night. Bang, bang, bang. Hate, hate, hate. And the only way we sheltered that hate was we were such good friends. And everybody who worked on the Tommy Toombs show deserves all the credit. It was an ensemble piece from start to finish where everybody did their part. And again, we were greater than the sum of our parts. So much fun. The last night of Haunt, 2004, the show ended. And the band kicked in with Play That Funky Music, White Boy. And we jammed for about 45 minutes until the park closed. The most fun ever. What a bizarre journey we took with that show. From a simple idea, Tony Clifton as a haunt guy, to transforming into Tommy Toombs, having all your friends by your side. It truly, it does tell you that folks who work in entertainment are some of the, I mean, it's like a sports team because we depend on everybody to do their part to make the show work. And in this case, making the show work meant making it bad. And for the people that we had, that was hard to do. I mean, these are good musicians, good actors, and we were playing in the worst sandbox ever. Like, we were inviting the audience to dislike us. And I know I've said that a lot, but I cannot stress enough how difficult that really was. Very, very difficult. So, hats off, man. Hats off to the Tommy Tune Show. God bless it there. Not Scary Farm. I'll tell you, there's Tony Clifton there. And I'll tell you, I give it up to the Tommy Tune Show. Now, that son of a bitch trying to steal my act. I'll take him down like I took down Kaufman. I mean, take it easy, Tony. Celebrity voices impersonated. So, hey, I raise a glass to Andy Kaufman, one of the greats, one of the greatest comedians that has ever lived. To Bob Zamuda, who keeps his fire alive by keeping Tony Clifton alive. Someday, I will see Tony Clifton live, and I will live to tell the tale. Like Greg Brady became Johnny Bravo because the jacket fit, I want to become Tony Clifton. I can totally do that there. I can take over for Zamuda. It would be the greatest thing ever. But if it never happens, for 1 month in 2004, I was my own version, and I found out firsthand what it's like to step into those shoes. How often can you really step into the shoes of one of your heroes? It's very difficult. You know, I idolized Evel Knievel. I never jumped my motorcycle. I don't even own a motorcycle. You know, I wanted to be a comedian, so I performed at the Comedy Store. I did that, but to transform into Tommy Tune was something totally different. So thanks to Trent for standing by me for that whole run of the show, to Rob, Adam, Larry for their incredible work in the band, the people who showed up with 3 cameras to shoot it like a sitcom. God bless you. You must have been bored to tears. And to the women we embarrassed, God bless you. To the people we fooled with the AOL disc, joke's on you, sucker. So, thanks for this walk down memory lane. You want to take us out, Tony? Take us out where? To the restaurant? Get some pasta primavera? No, we're not going to the restaurant for pasta primavera. I want to go in here. I just want you in the show. Oh, in the show there. All right, I'll take over for you. Step aside, pencil neck. This is Tony Clifton, and you are listening to some crap show called 91 Reasons. What the hell is a 91 Reason? It's complicated, Tony. Oh, yeah, it's complicated there. That means it's stupid. So go to hell. This is Tony Clifton saying go to hell.
Thanks for listening to 91 Reasons. Please subscribe and leave a review on iTunes. Find us on Facebook. Is anyone even still listening?
Hey, before we get to the show itself, just a quick announcement that 91 Reasons is going to be at the Midsummer Scream Halloween Festival, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. This is put on by Creepy LA and Theme Park Adventure. They're good friends of the show. 2 days of frights, freaks, spooks, and scares. If you buy a ticket, and you should, it includes admission to dozens of presentations from creative professionals, celebrities, and influencers from in and around the horror, entertainment, and Halloween industry, along with a massive show floor, on-site haunts, and more. A full range of talks and presentations on local ghost lore, the craft of monster making, and the design of haunted attractions, immersive and interactive theater, and previews of upcoming Halloween events and attractions, all from the people who make it happen. They're going to have, Not Scary Farm's going to be there. I'll be hosting that event. Imagineers, Queen Mary Dark Harbor, Universal Studios, there's an Oingo Boingo dance party. I mean, there's so much going on at the Midsummer Scream, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. Go to midsummerscream.org get your tickets. If they ask how you heard about it, say you heard it on this show, 91 Reasons. I will be there both days. 91 Reasons will have a table in the showroom. We'll be doing interviews on site, talking to fans, whatever you want, stop by. Tell a story. We'll record it and we'll put it on the show. And it'll be preserved forever on this crazy, insane show. So, once again, 91 Reasons is proud to partner up and be a part of Midsummer Scream Halloween Festival, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. It's local, it's easy to get to, parking is cheap and right by the door. It's not like some of the, like Comic-Con. I mean, Comic-Con, forget about it. You're going to hear our stories about next month's Comic-Con and you're going to want to die. No, Midsummer Scream is going to be easy to get to, fun to go to. If you love Halloween as much as I love Halloween, you are going to want to be there. You can see Austin and talk to him about gourmet chicken strips. Josie will be there to talk about the world's youngest scare actor at a Halloween event. I will be there interviewing and trying not to be in yours because I'm not photogenic. Rachel will be there, talking from across the room. Luna will be there. The whole Tucker family will be there. All of 91 Reasons at the Midsummer Scream, July 30th and 31st at the Long Beach Convention Center. Go to midsummerscream.org to get your tickets and tell them you heard it right here on 91 Reasons. And now, you've sat through the commercial. Let's get to the show.